and it is Monday, starting another week. But today in the discussion group, the Mind Shift group, and you're welcome to come anytime, it's noon on Monday, we got talking about a reflection that I had collected from Inner Bonding. And this reflection for the day was, now I wrote it in here, and I'm going to read it and see if you don't go round and round and round. So here was the reflection. If you are in a relationship, you might think that you are much further along than your partner, or that your partner is much farther along than you. But we are always attracted to each other at our common level of woundedness, which is our common level of self-abandonment, as well as our common level of emotional health, which is our common level of self-acceptance. Ooh. Let's go through that one more time, a little more slowly. If you or I are in a relationship, now remember, a relationship can be at work, at home, at play, in the community. It can be a spouse, a child, a friend, an employee, a boss. A relationship can be any of those, just humanity. A relationship, people in connection with each other. Now, you might think that whoever it is that you're communicating with at the moment might be further along. Or you might think that they are further along than us. So we get that terrible feeling of being superior or inferior and hoping we won't be found out or lacking in our communication. Can you imagine? If you're in a relationship, you might think you're much further along than your partner, the one you're communicating with, or that other person is much farther along than you. But here's the caveat. We are always attracted to each other at our common level of woundedness. What was the wound? And we all have it. Whether we inflicted on ourselves or had a hard childhood or a hard birth, whatever, there's a woundedness within each of us. Sometimes when everything has been perfect, the perfect family, the perfect parents, nothing ever went wrong, how do you live up to that? We can, as children, we as human beings can find all kinds of excuses for how we feel and how we react. So woundedness is universal. It's just different for each person. But woundedness, like everything else, has an energy to it, a vibration. And so what happens is that when we are in relationship, we are responding to that same vibration. May not be the same woundedness, but the level of that vibration would be the woundedness attracting each other. Now here, this is where it gets really, man. So we have our common level of woundedness, which is our common level of self-abandonment. Wow. Yes, we have abandoned ourselves at some level, at some time. And that will come up when you're feeling emotions. You're feeling emotions in the moment, and you just think it's these adult emotions. I'm angry or hurt or sad or depressed. And we'll just say, oh no, that's just the way it is right now for me right now. If you have the courage to go on that journey, to track it backwards to when you felt that way before and when you felt that way before, and you go back honestly far enough to when you felt that, you will find out that that little child that you abandoned at whatever age it was is still in there, still abandoned. And who abandoned that little one inside you? You. Who abandoned myself? Me. That is what self-abandonment is, as well as a common level of emotional health. So have we been keeping ourselves emotionally healthy? Do we look after ourselves? and that which is the common level of self-acceptance. I got going on that. If you're in a relationship, you might think they're further along than you, and you're further along than them, and we're attracted at the common level of how and when we were hurt, what that vibration is, that energy, and that was tied in with our own common level of self-abandonment, which is our common level of emotional health, and our common level of self-acceptance. It's amazing. If you're not dizzy with me yet, congratulations, because that is amazing. Let's forget about who's up, who's down, who's superior, who's inferior. Forget about all that and start to take responsibility for ourselves. There's freedom in personal responsibility. Absolute freedom. It's easy. Well, simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy. We have to love ourselves, accept ourselves. We have to look after so many things about ourselves so that we can be authentic in relationship with others. And that takes boldness, courage, communication skills. I'm just going to mention here, I am coaching people in positive mental health, which is really spoken to in this whirlwind of what it all means to be. So instead of our voices tearing us down here, we want to get back to our center and get some wise voices speaking more clearly over here. Yes, I coach in that, and it's an amazing way to find the courage and find the growth that goes in to working with your own personal energy so that you can always move the vibration up to a higher level so that you're attracting people at a higher level of energy. So there you go. Take a read through it a few times, let it turn around, and look at responsibility as your ability to respond. And that is why I say communication is so important, especially to yourself. It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk, wishing you have a wonderful remainder of the day and happy reflecting. I'm here, Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. You can do it. Get in touch. I can help.